Okay, today we're going to be talking about possessive pronouns. Now remember, possessive means when something belongs to something. So if we look at this first sentence, that is Jane's backpack. So remember, we use that apostrophe S. Let me highlight that. Okay, so we use the apostrophe S to make the noun possessive. So our noun is Jane, and what belongs to her is the backpack. So we use apostrophe S to say Jane's backpack. So now we're going to talk about that same thing, but with pronouns. Okay, when we use a pronoun, that replaces the noun. So we have the noun Jane. We're going to replace that with a pronoun, but it has to be a pronoun that shows that it is possessive, that something belongs to it. So when we look at this sentence using a pronoun, the pronoun that we're going to use that replaces Jane is her. So far we've replaced Jane with she, the pronoun she. But in order to show possessive, we have to use her. So now we can say that that is her backpack. The backpack belongs to her. We wouldn't say that is she backpack. That doesn't make sense. She is not a possessive pronoun. We have to use her to show that the backpack belongs to her. It's a possessive pronoun. A possessive pronoun shows who or what owns something. That is his notebook. So instead of saying that is he notebook, that doesn't make sense. That's not a possessive pronoun. A possessive pronoun would be his. Now we can show that the notebook belongs to him. So that is his notebook. So the possessive pronouns that we would use to replace a possessive noun would be my, his, her, its, our, your, or their. So the possessive pronouns, so before we used the pronouns I, she, he, it, those replaced a noun in our sentence. But in order to make it possessive, to show that something is owned by somebody or it belongs to something, then we would use these pronouns: my, his, her, its, our, your, and their. Okay, so instead of the ones that we used before, I, he, she, it, and then our plural ones like them, okay, we, us, these are the ones that you would use to show possession, to show that it is a possessive noun. So you have to make sure that the noun in the sentence and the pronoun agree. So if I said Jane's backpack, I wouldn't say she backpack. I would say her backpack. They have to agree. Also, I wouldn't say his backpack because Jane is a girl. I would have to say her. So they have to agree. So let's take a look in our sentences. Okay, we're going to take our first sentence. My family won a trip to Chicago. So looking at this sentence, we're going to find the possessive pronoun in the sentence. My family won a trip to Chicago. Who does the family belong to? My family. So my is our possessive pronoun. Okay, remember my is one of our possessive pronouns. So on this line, go to my type tool. I'm going to type in, let's go a little bit higher, my. So let's go to the sentence number 2. I want you to read the sentence, and then in your notebook, you can write down what the possessive noun is for number 2. In your interactive notebook, go ahead and do 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Just write down number 2, what is the possessive pronoun? Number 3, what is the possessive pronoun? Go ahead and pause the video and write down your answers for 2 through 6. Okay, so now let's take a look at our sentences and see if you got the correct answers. So for number 2, we wrote an essay telling our reasons for wanting to go. Okay, so we need to figure out what is our possessive pronoun in this sentence. So we see we right here. Okay, we is a pronoun. It replaces the noun when we have Joe and I or Emma and I. So we would replace that. However, does anything belong to we? Wrote does not belong to we. Okay, wrote is a verb. It's something we're doing. So we is not our possessive pronoun. If we keep going, we wrote an essay telling our reasons for wanting to go. Our is also a pronoun. Let me get back to my highlighter. Our is also a pronoun, okay? And reasons, the reasons belong to them. So our reasons, our would be our possessive pronoun, not we, our. So if we go back up to here where it told us what our possessive pronouns were, my, his, her, its, our was one of them, we was not. Okay, so to show ownership, the reasons and who they belong to, our is our possessive pronoun. So that is what you should have written down. For number 3, Dad spent most of his childhood there. Okay, so his is our possessive pronoun. The childhood belongs to him. So his shows possession, shows our possessive. Moving on to number 4. Mom used to visit her grandmother in Chicago. There is our possessive pronoun showing that the grandmother belongs to her grandmother. Mom and Dad want us to see their favorite landmarks. So again, we have this pronoun, us, okay, to. Does to belong to us? No, that doesn't make sense. Us is not a possessive pronoun. It does not show ownership. So us is not the pronoun that you should have written down. Their favorite landmarks. The favorite landmarks belong to them. There is our possessive pronoun. It shows something, a noun, belonging to them. So there is what you should have written on the line, not us. Dad asked his boss for a week off. His is our possessive pronoun. Who does the boss belong to? It belongs to him. So his is our possessive pronoun. So our possessive pronouns, my, his, her, its, our, your, and their, when you see those pronouns, they're going to show that something belongs, something is owned by someone or something. So there's a difference between the pronouns like we, okay, he, she, it, they, we, us. Those pronouns replace a noun, but these pronouns, my, his, her, its, our, your, and their, are possessive pronouns. So they show, they show that something is owned by something or someone, okay? So we're going to continue with possessive pronouns tomorrow, and we're going to talk about possessive pronouns that can stand all by themselves.